Hello everybody, I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we're gonna talk about lifting yourself up by your bootstraps. That's right, nobody's coming to save you. Some of y'all didn't like that video December 31st. Well now, here we are. So we're gonna talk about it and how you can invest. I've talked about it for the last 2 months. Well, here we go again. Welcome, and please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. Okay, how can I forget? We got some merch. That's right, go to the StopStrugglingNow.com website. Get your SSN merchandise, please. Give a little love, give a little support. Now we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna give a quote, well, semi-quote, because it's done by Martin Luther King. It's all right to ask a man to lift himself up by his own bootstraps, but it's a cruel joke to tell a bootless man to lift himself up by his own bootstraps. That's paraphrasing, but that's what this is all about. This is a joke that the United States government is talking about giving people $1,000. So start doing the numbers. 200 million Americans could be possibly eligible for this. They're talking about $2 trillion. Where's the other $1.8 trillion going? That's right. You don't think the 1%ers are gonna lose, do you? Come on now, stop playing with yourself. Get real. This is the real deal that I've been talking about for the last year and a half. Except who knew that the coronavirus would cause a whole lot of havoc and start breaking the cracks open that already existed, and now they're pouring salt onto the wounds. That's right. We're talking about investing. We've been talking about making extra money. We've been talking about that affiliate marketing. We've been talking about LLCs and getting your own company in order, getting that business credit in order, getting your credit in order. But how many of you listened? I know a few of you have, and a few of you are prepared. But for all those right now, 75 to 100 million people who are sitting at the house right now, who are laid off, who potentially do not have any money coming in because you have too less of an employees that work for the company, because people who are going to get paid from this trillions of dollars are going to be large corporations who employ X amount of people. So sad, too bad if you employ 10, 20, 50, 100. Nah, you may not get saved. But those guys that employ hundreds of thousands or 50,000 or 100,000, yeah, they may get saved. Except you, as the employee, unless you have the right benefits package, may not be getting any money while you're laid off. May not be getting any money while you have to shut down because you're a non-essential business. Nobody says the companies have to do this. So here you are, sitting at the house potentially. Are you going to be making money while you're sitting at the house? Well, all those that's been here as a subscriber for Stop Struggling Now, you're already prepared. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking, well, who's going to pay for stuff when they're laid off? There's only really 180 to 190 million Americans that actually have a job. So if you're talking about 75 million to 100 million, start doing the numbers. Half of America is laid off. So somebody better start explaining to me how the stock market goes up because they're going to tell people about trillions of dollars of a bailout, which has nothing to do with the economy. So therefore, this is what I've been talking about for the last month, 2, 3 years. Those velocity stocks I've been saying, yes, still get those. What am I saying right now? Because the stock market has lost, what, 30,000 down to 18,000? Well, it also appears that the 1%ers are probably going to start buying up some shares of stock because they're below value. But are they really below value is the question. Because it seems to me, if Vegas is shut down, New York City shut down, San Francisco, LA, all these major cities are shut down, and some cities where there are manufacturing facilities are shut down, it seems to me that stocks should go down. But we're gonna find out. But I'm putting my money where my mind is. I'm saying, let's go. Some more velocity stocks. That's right, Monday, be getting some of those. But I'm not gonna be foolish enough to not pick up dividend stocks that are cheap as hell. Somebody mentioned, shout out to Curtis Davis, NRZ. That's right, I have a little money in NRZ too. They're susceptible to real estate, they have other holdings. Yes, 28, 25 to 30% dividend, interest on your money is awfully tempting, especially when we're talking about $6 or $7 share. That's right, sometimes it's worth a risk. These are the times that you take a risk with a couple of $100, a couple of $1,000, whatever your risk tolerance is. This is the time. Bank stocks even, they're taking a hit. But we all know Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan, they're Fed banks. They ain't going under. But their stocks sure look like they're going under. So now may be a good time to get those. Okay, so how much more do I have to say about this? I'm giving you blueprints. I'm no guru. I'm no financial planner. I'm no financial advisor. But common sense can help each and every one of us in this case. If America is shutting down, that means industries are shutting down, which means their stock prices should be going down, which means you should be like Warren Buffett. You start being a vulture. You start picking up shares of stock that have went down so much that it's almost damn near impossible that they could lose anymore. Coca-Cola, which is KO. I don't know how that keeps going down. Water, they have. Soda, they have. Other divisions, they have. But their stock is going down. Another time that you might want to pick up something like that. That's right, I'm talking about all over the map this time with regards to stock. This is creating your wealth now. This is the time that you create your wealth for the future. This is what the 1%ers do. This is why they don't care if it goes down, because they are always liquid. While you're sitting there having your money in a 401k and can't do anything about it, they're using it, profiting from it, and giving you kibbles and bits. Mutual fund companies, hedge fund companies, all these companies that you're giving your money to, they're out here profiting and giving you kibbles and bits left over. That's what you're missing. Now, if you're like a lot of us who have liquid assets, liquid money, and by the way, get your money out of a bank. I can't implore you anymore. Get that duffel bag of cash next to you. Or put it in the stock market where the top 10% of all income earners have 84% of the stocks. How much more do I have to keep saying this? Every video. If you have $10, I don't care. There's a stock for you to get. A lot of you heard me talk about Ford, which I got to talk to about, by the way. Ford shut down plants all over the world, and what they're going to do is like a lot of companies. They started talking about reducing their dividend. But let's face facts. Even if their share, which by the way, it's only $4 and something, and they'd stop doing dividends, that's even better actually. Because now instead of giving that money to dividends, which is profit, they're actually keeping that money in-house and can use it to retool, remanufacture, do other things. So their shares should go up after this recession situation gets handled. So now is the time that you might want to get a $4.50, a $4.20 stock of a Fortune 500 company. Now is the time you might want to consider the bank stocks, as I mentioned. Real estate's going to take a hit because when people are out of a job, out of work, they're not going to pay their rent. So you're going to take a hit on those too. So again, those shares, the ETFs are going down. You know, the ABRs, A as in apple, B as in boy, R, going down. Okay, I'm buying because I like the dividends. And if they can come out of this recession, dividends are coming, and we're only buying shares for less than $6 or $7. Think about this. For a couple of $100, you can buy companies right now Not one share, not two shares, but you can get yourself 10, 12, 20, 30, 40 shares. And if the economy and the coronavirus gets under control, all this will be 4 or 5 times the stock price. 3, 4, 5 times the stock price. And you could just wake up a year from now, let's say, and say, wow, I get dividends. The stock price is 3 or 4 times the amount that I purchased it for. That's creating your wealth. You don't even have to sell the stock because you're sitting there going, I only bought all this stuff for $200 or $300. Or I bought all this stuff for $2,000 or $3,000. Or I bought all this stuff for $20,000 to $30,000. It's exponential. So the more you buy in a down economy is when things get back right, the more you make. That's how the 1%ers do it. Don't fool yourself. They're not smarter than you. They just have inside information. Of course, they do investments a little different because they have more money, so they can do across more spectrums of the economy. Like right now, energy. Who in their right mind would think Exxon, which the symbol is XOM as in Mary, who in their right mind would think Exxon would be giving out 8% to 9% dividend because their stock price is in the low 30s right now? We all know this is the petrodollar. It's not going to be at 30s forever. Come on. This is an opportunity for you, the common man, the other 99% of the population, to take advantage. That's what I've been talking about for the last 2, 3 weeks, 3 months, 4 months. You have to be liquid to take advantage. And most people aren't liquid. That's how they have you by the cojones. Because when your money's locked up, when your money's in a bank and you can't get to it, when your money's sitting around in precious metals and you can't sell it, because precious metals are going down right now and you got to give a dealer 20% below the actual price. Come on. This is what we're talking about here. This is not the time to have your money in cold storage. This is the time you need to be liquid in that duffel bag of cash. You need to turn that cash into stocks where the 1%ers keep their money. So we're all taking advantage of this right now. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Pull yourself up. You don't need boots in this case. All you need is pay attention, read. And half of you are sitting there without being at the job. So you have no excuse right now. Check out all information. Go check out the CNBC, the Wall Street Journals, Aftermarket, the futures, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ. And by the way, NASDAQ, SPXU. S is in Sam, P is in Paul, X is in X-ray, U. Check that out, the short NASDAQ. Also, S as in Sam, then QQQ shorts the NASDAQ. So when this NASDAQ goes down, these go up. SQQQ went up 20% just on Friday. There's times when you can actually get a little chunks here and there, but you have to pay attention. And while you're home, you can dabble a little bit with a little bit of your money for a few days, because things are going to change just slightly, especially on velocity stocks. You got to pay attention to these, or you got to let it ride. And like, I got to give a shout out to Curtis Davis again. I'm holding velocity shares, by the way. The ones I talked about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. And you guys might want to take a look. If you would have done something March 2nd, March 3rd, March 4th, look how much you would have made already. And you could be using that profit to buy these other shares. So I had to do this video on a Sunday because what I'm doing is I don't want to hear anybody talking to me about, hey, after they see the video and they're giving, saying I had 50-50 hindsight view. I'm telling you guys before it happens. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm telling you what I'm buying before it happens. This is a Sunday. Market doesn't even, well, it opens pre-market tomorrow morning. But nonetheless, I'm telling you stuff beforehand, stuff that I'm doing. So this ain't Monday morning quarterbacking after the fact. I'm risking my money just like I'm telling you to risk yours, because this ain't the time to be scared. This is the time when millionaires are made. So let's do this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and share. Let your family members know. Let your friends know what's going on around here. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you got the latest updates. And you know it's hard out here. That's what Stop Struggling Now is all about. To make things better for everybody. Not just a single entity, not just a person, for everybody. Rising tide lift all boats, as you heard me talk about before. So this is the time that all boats can rise. You just got to have a little faith, a little belief. Don't care about money. Once you don't care about money, you release yourself. So that's all I have to say. Keep your head up in these trying times. Stay away from people. Keep your health, because you don't want to have medical bankruptcy. So stay away from people. Watch yourself. Make sure you're doing everything to stay sterile. And I'm out.